Welcome, patrons, syncretists, lovers of truth. It's great to be with you. Now, today I'm diverting from the announced chart readings of various people, and I attempted to do that for 2 weeks in a row. And it was very discouraging that half of the live didn't actually get recorded. So I read 5 charts in those 2, and it's gone. It's gone with the wind. So whilst I still have some glitches, I'm going to do something different today, and which will be the same thing. I'm going to be reading a chart. This is called mundane astrology. It's not a personal chart reading. So that was 2 weeks ago. I did a personal human chart reading. This is a mundi, a world, chart of the world, and in particular 9/11, which we all know changed the world. We're going to have a look at the skies in tropical, of course, because if you do it in sidereal, you'll make a real fart of yourself, because that's what they are, brain damaged, following a Jesuit globe system, flying around with a big bang, and that's their astrology. Sidereal is based on the Jesuit globe, and tropical is still flat Earth, stationary. Thank God that me and many other intelligent people are still teaching this in the world. But unfortunately, so many stupid, half-cocked, half-witted, brain-damaged people think that sidereal astrology is even a thing. But stupid is stupid. So today I'm going to smash sidereal by showing exactly why it is so out, with many reasons. We're also going to look at the 5th of February 1962, when all of the 7 planets, the visible planets, including the Sun and the Moon, Mars, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Mars, all of them were in Aquarius. Now, astrologers know that for all the 7 visible luminaries to be in one sign, according to Manly P. Hall, he said, for all the planets to be in one sign, it takes 4,250,000 or something years. Let's round that off to 4 million years. So we're going to show you how in tropical, all the planets were in Aquarius. When Aquarius, 50 years before 2012, because there's always a 50-year cusp, always, between the transitioning from Pisces to Aquarius, there's always 20 years. They were starting to sing in the early 60s, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, whatever. I'm out of tune, not out of key, but out of tune, because I don't want to even try and sing the song. It was a funny song, I didn't like it. But in tropical, isn't it funny how the siderealists announce that the age of Aquarius is upon us? Well, 62, on the 5th of February, Aquarius, all the planets were in that sign. But in tropical, half of them are in Capricorn. So stupidity is stupidity, and we're going to look at that. So today's fixing stupidity and putting tropical on the pedestal and debunking sidereal and Ophiuchus 13 signs and all of that bullshit by half-cocked, half-witted morons that have 3 brain cells fighting for 4th place. Yeah, maybe 2.5. I like to exaggerate. So we've got a bunch of people here. Montagna, buonasera Santos, ciao dall'Italia. La bella Italia. You may remember Adamora, yeah, the song Mare, Mare, Mare. You remember that song in the 70s? Talking about all the immigrant Italians and how much they always hark back to Italy, you know? Good to see some Italians here. That was a beautiful song too, guys. Mare, Mare, Mare by Ada. Let's have a look at that. Mare, 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 lontano sta cantando la mia gente. Ada Mori. Yeah, Ada Mori. Actually, I'll put the song in there for you guys. How's that? Boy, I'm a nice guy, aren't I? Enjoy that song, Montagna. Si Montagna. All right, I'm going to get straight into it, guys. I have improved some things. I've been contacted by technical guys who believe they know what my problems are. For a start, I was doing Wi-Fi, which I never did. And that started 6 months ago when all my glitches started, right? So the guy pointed out that whenever you're live streaming, you have to be connected by the Ethernet. Now, why did I go contrary to what I've always done? I've always never used Wi-Fi and used Ethernet. Well, because my adapter was glitchy and I thought my modem was playing up, and I tried for several days to try different cables, different plugins and everything, and I couldn't get the Ethernet to work. This was about 6 months ago. I just couldn't get it to work, and I thought, well, I'll just do Wi-Fi. It works. No, it doesn't. So today, let me know, guys, if the quality is better. And I'm going to test the share screening right now. And I'm going to start with the first plane crash, which happened at this is 9/11, which happened at 8:46, so 8:45. And then the second one happened just 15, 16 minutes later at 9:03. And we're going to see only in the tropical system how the stars, all of them, Mars, Pluto, all of them, I'm going to talk about all of them, they all pointed to this event happening. We know it's a simulation, a video game, etc., or a matrix and everything like that, and there's all this Mandela effect, and things are changing, and we're starting to notice that what we remembered years ago to be a corporate logo has now changed, and all of this strange stuff is happening. We can see it. We see a lot of awakening happening in the world. The Christ has returned. And we see a lot of stupidity. So there's definitely 2 timelines, right? We're in the middle of this, guys. So what I'll do is I'll turn this big screen off up here because it's just, not that this is going to be on me, I'm going to be sharing my screen, but I just hate it flickering off. Again, glitches. My own, the TV screen I have above here is cuts in and out. Now, I keep buying different plugs and What do I mean by the Christ has returned? Well, Christ means consciousness, a higher level, like Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze Age, not Iron Age ignorance. See, ignorance is the devil. There's only one sin. There's only one sin. That's ignorance, willful ignorance. So the ignorance that we saw, we see it. We see the ignorance of people. It's astounding with their opinions so firmly fixed. Christ has returned in that we are having this discussion, and many other people, on astrology, on ascension, on good health, on sexy living, on all the good shit. Christ has returned. Haven't you noticed that you're changing? Your dreams are changing. Your thoughts are more profound. Your feelings are overwhelming because you know that right around the corner, something's about to take place. That's the Christ returning. It's not some dude coming in the clouds with a dick and balls and who does farts and said, oh, I came 2,000 years ago. Sorry about all the wars since then. I promised I'd return real quick, but yeah, well, I was playing with my my little toy and I got distracted about caring for humanity. But here I am, I'm in the clouds and I'm going to come to Earth and save you all, drop a few farts and eat some food, do some poo and wipe my bum, and just hang out with you people. Yeah, these people still think Santa Claus comes down chimneys, literally. Christ means consciousness. When Christ returns, we benefit and reap the harvest of all of our good work. And we enter into our divine mind, not our carnal mind. You and I well know that our carnal mind has led us to do many things that we wish we didn't do. Yeah? Like men, for instance, thinking with the little head instead of the big head. Oh, there's a nice girl. I'm going to take her home. Next thing you know, you got herpes. Yeah, it's great one night stand. Thinking with a little head. So we all know that we lusted, we all had addictions. We all told lies. We all did things that we shouldn't have. We all said things that we shouldn't have and hurt people that we shouldn't have. We all lusted for things that were kind of appealing at the time, but looking back in hindsight, you think, how did I do that? I went to that club where all the loose women go, and I picked up a woman, took her home, and now I've got herpes for the rest of my life, whatever. We all know that we've done that. Christ returning means that common sense and divine thinking is returning. And what are we doing today? We're talking about divining. Astrology is divining, which means it's divine. It's knowledge from the source, which makes you a sorcerer. Oh, wouldn't you rather be a pastor in a 501c3 Christian church where you can be stigmatized, because we know, as a pedophile, rather than a diviner and a mystic and a sorcerer? Wouldn't you rather be that than a pastor and a minister that fondles little children. And why do you think churches exist? Yeah. To fondle little children. Yeah. To rape little children. To pervert their minds with stories about this dude who came, Jesus, and he came, God's son, glorious. He came here to eat poo and wipe his bum. But he didn't write anything. 33 years, and he was just going, what about this nostril? And what about my bum? Yeah, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm the Son of God, but why bother writing 2 words for humanity to help them, to save them? I'll leave that to the Roman Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I'll leave that up to them. Hang on, it's starting to rain. So I'll just die and get crucified and not leave any books. And then 60 years later, some Roman dudes are going to turn up, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and they're going to remember my words, they're going to remember my words. You really think that that's how the most intelligent being of the universe would save humanity? Sending his own son, who knows everything and is almighty and powerful, but doesn't know how to write. Supposedly he went to India to study. He went to Egypt, that's a fact. But he didn't learn how to write. What actually did he do? Well, he did things that sound like, when you know how to read between the lines, Jesus walked on the water, Jesus caught 153 fish, all these miracles. He resurrected a man, he resurrected Lazarus, he did all these miracles. Doesn't it sound like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, Sleeping Beauty, Humpty Dumpty? People believe that is literal. They cannot see the symbolic meaning, which is way up here. Here's the literal for the dumb bums, to keep them stupid. That's what the Bible does. The Bible's a great book, man. I love the Bible. It divides the stupid, the goats on the left, from the intelligent and good-hearted, the sheep on the right that go to everlasting life, and these guys, everlasting damnation for being ignoramuses. So, anyway, that's what Christ is, guys. You are Christ. See, Christ came in the flesh. He did come in the flesh. Consciousness came in the human flesh. Supposedly we were Neanderthals, and then we became Cro-Magnon or whatever. We transitioned from these Neanderthals, and all of a sudden now we're super intelligent. Well, that's possibly what it's implying. You see, we go through cycles. The yugas, Kali Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, Tetra Yuga, and Satya Yuga, the Golden Age. So when it's the Golden Age, Christ returns, consciousness. When it's the Dark Age, there's plagues, there's stupidity, people are killing each other, wars, hate, religions, dividing humanity. So you get it? It's all cycles. Christ comes and returns and comes and returns, but it's not literal, like Santa Claus. I hope no one on this chat believes that Santa Claus really comes down chimneys. Just joking. Yeah, that's if you're not a Monty Python fan, you'll never get my humor. You've got to be a real Monty Python fan. Like, I grew up on two staples. That was it. That's all I needed. Led Zeppelin and Monty Python. So, yeah, that's my wacky humor. Okay, so let's share the screen and let's go for it, shall we, guys? I need, so I'm going to put my phone, no, I was told that I should keep the phone off as well, because this is actually sucking from the internet. So, but I will leave on WhatsApp's open. Okay, WhatsApp is, call me if there's any shenanigans going on like the last 2 weeks, please, because it's really disheartening. The last 2 weeks just absolutely were very difficult to swallow. You know, I put a lot of planning time in these particular presentations, and then when technology fails you and you don't know how to fix it, it just kind of makes you doubt that you can pull it off. It makes you doubt that it's even worth doing. So I've found a local tech guy that's coming to help me with these little things. For instance, when I touch my computer, I get zapped. It gives me sparks. Let's see if you can see it. No, you can't. But anyway, when I plug something into the computer, it sparks. So the frame of my computer is actually electrically. It's all. Hey guys, I see there. I know. Look, I got about at least 50 people wanting me to read their charts. Okay, now I would love to do that, and I did say I was only going to do 5, and I did do them, but they didn't get to be on the recording, and it was heartbreaking. Not for you, for me. So I'm not going to fuck around this time and just and do that, because it's going to be much more stable for me to share my screen and stay on one page, okay? And I'm going to hear back from you guys. Let me just do one thing. All right, beautiful. Let me get out, close all applications. I'm told, well, I always do when I do lives, I close all applications, but I didn't know about the phone, and I should have figured that out. Yeah, if you're doing lives, guys, never go Wi-Fi, plug in with USB, and turn your phone off and all other devices, everything. Shh. Only the computer. Okay. Here we go, guys, and I'm going to need some feedback. Someone can tell me on Facebook, WhatsApp, if you can see my screen. So, am I sharing my screen? And if not, so I need a yes. Good. All right, so let's start with the first plane crash on 9/11. Now, interesting that the sign of justice, Libra, and injustice is rising, and Mercury's on the same degree, 8:46 a.m. Now, this will be the same in sidereal, but it will be in it'll be in Scorpio instead. Okay, so but in sidereal, I'll show you what I mean. Let's do side. Wait a minute. No, I don't have to do that. I've already got it. So have a look at side. Oh no. It's not going to work. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it the way I was going to do it. So have a good look at that. I'm going to click sidereal, and we'll see that Mercury is absolutely on the ascendant. Because you see, there is no difference between tropical and astrology when it comes to the house placements, because if the sun is on the horizon when you're born, whether it's tropical or sidereal, it's going to be there on the horizon. You can't move it. So, but they've got Virgo rising and Libra's down here. And this is 9/11, right? And this is all out of whack with anything that remotely happened on that day. So I'm going to double click that so that can stay open and we can compare it. I'm going to go back to tropical. All right. First thing we notice is Libra is rising and Mercury, the messenger, he is on the 14th degree, which is the strongest point on the ecliptic. The ascendant is the strongest point on the ecliptic, which means, and Libra is humanitarian, remember this. So there's the messenger of God rising right in the east, right at the moment that 8:46 a.m. that the first plane crashes, announcing to the world, the whole world was watching. I remember my brother-in-law, Enzo, he calls me, "Hey, Sam, get on the TV, man. One of the towers has been demolished." Right. Well, so I get on the TV and the other tower's still up, and I'm going, "Oh my God, what's this?" And then I watched the second live, supposedly. But the whole world was watching. Why? Because Mercury is right. If Mercury were over down here, say down on the IC or floating around here, forget about it. This is the big message to humanity. Something about justice and injustice and, public enemies. Libra is the sign of public enemies. All right? This is the first thing that is absolutely astounding about this very day. Okay, let's keep going. There's more, but wait, there's more. Okay, now the sun in Virgo is squaring Saturn. Bang. Not good. Venus in Leo is opposing Uranus. Not good. Pluto in Sagittarius is opposing 2-degree orb Saturn in Gemini, the Twin Towers. Now, isn't that interesting that Saturn at that time was still in the ninth house, right? But 16 minutes later, he's over here in the 8th house. Let's have a look at that. Here's the second plane crash, 9:03, and Saturn has just entered the 8th house, the house of death. The 9th house is the house of travel. And notice that the moon is also in Gemini. This is a big trigger, okay? All right, so over here, the first plane crash, they are traveling. Everyone's traveling. They're all in the air, in the sky. This is the house of the gods. And the sky, the mid-heaven. Now, 28 years before 9/11 was when the Twin Towers were built. Let's have a look at that day, shall we? Yeah. there it is. Saturn in Gemini. I've got 1st of April 1973. Exactly what? 18 years, 28 years, which is a solar return. So they knew what they were doing, the Masons. They said, let's Gemini's the Twin Towers. It's Jachin and Boaz. It's Pollux and Castor. It's Adam and Eve. With that, but let's not tell the stupid people. There's Saturn right in the middle, 15 degrees, right in the middle of the Twin Towers, Satan the devil, in 1973. Why did I pick this date? Well, when were the Twin Towers? I hate misspelling. I shouldn't say I hate. I don't hate. The Twin Towers, officially known as 1 and 2, World Trade Center, were built between 68 and 71. The North Tower completed in December 1970 and the South Tower in 1971. Now, at that time, Saturn was not in Gemini. He was in Taurus. But here is the determining factor which I chose. Okay, the the project was suggested by David Rockefeller. Glad he's dead. I hope you're enjoying hell and having to do sexual favors for all the demons down there, Rockefeller. Let me see there we go. It was dedicated, okay, so built primarily between the foundations, 75. So it was a 10-year, it was about a 6-year project, but it was dedicated on April 4th, 19, destroyed in 2001. Exactly one Saturn return. That's why I put this date as the dedication. It's when you dedicate it. That's the point. Okay, now to I have the 1st of April, but it doesn't matter. The dedication was the 4th, but there he is at 15 degrees Gemini. They dedicated the towers when Satan, in between the two towers, right in the middle, in 1973, when I was 10 years old, they dedicated these two buildings knowing that 18 years later, Saturn would be at the same degree. Look at this, 1445, same up to 15 degrees. Now, isn't that interesting that from the day of the dedication to the day of the terrorist act was perfectly a perfect Saturn return. Interesting. Let's keep going, but wait, there's more. But okay, so notice that Saturn is still in the 9th house of travel, and the moon, they're traveling north node. Jupiter in Cancer, where he is now, into yesterday. This is a good thing, right? So I'm going to talk about that, but there's the traveling. The north node is very salient in this whole configuration here. But 15 minutes later, going by Placidus tropical astrology, this will never happen in, well, yeah, I guess it would happen in sidereal, but the thing is, Saturn will be in Cancer, So, again, I proved my point. I mean, there it is. Saturn is still, this is the sidereal, okay, this is why it has all the S's there, to warn you. Stay away from this bullshit system. Only dunces who are indoctrinated by other indoctrinated people practice this satanic Jesuit global astrology. See, yes, the planets will be in the same houses. This is why sidereal astrologers do accuracy from time to time, but not 100% like tropical astrologers. And this is why some people say, oh, yeah, but my sidereal astrologer said that Mars is in my first house and this is going to happen. And this is, yeah, well, that's the same in tropical, stupid. If Mars is in the first house in sidereal, well, it's in the fucking first house in tropical because it can't be any different, right? But see, Saturn in Taurus, and that's pure and utter hogwash, okay? So that's why you've joined the right Patreon channel and you're not dealing with moronic sidereal astrologies who serve Satan and the Jesuits and the global agenda, and you need to run away from these stupid people. Brain dead, totally brain dead. Now, Aquarius is, Uranus retrograding, that's going to be a negative, opposing Venus in Leo, the heart, in the house of the world, the governments. So you see, the love of peace and security politically in the world was attacked by this guy here, who is very nasty when he's retrograding. Okay? Now, look at that. It's a 3-degree orb, so it's strong. So the 10th house is being attacked, and the love of what, because Venus is the teacher of worldly wisdom, and Jupiter, Guru, is the teacher of divine wisdom, you see. This is Guru in Sanskrit, okay? And this is Shukra. Now, Shukra teaches worldly wisdom, so it's quite appropriate that she's in the house of worldly politics and all of that bullshit, right? And careers and work and stuff like that. But you see how the world in general has been attacked by the love of Venus being diminished and attacked by this assault. It's like a javelin. An opposition is like a javelin. It absolutely flies straight into the heart of the other orb, 180 degrees opposite, and really, really disturbs its frequency. So there's Venus clearly in Leo the heart, in massive grief. Okay? Now the sun just below her in the 11th house, to her left there. So we can see that he's shining. It's morning. It's in New York. It's 9 o'clock. It's 8:46, and the sun's already been up for about, well, let's calculate it. How many degrees? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's about 25 degrees. Therefore, 25 times 400. So if you go back 100 minutes, that'll be an hour and 40 minutes. The sun must have rose really, really early, because you can work out by the degrees. The degrees move 1 degree every 4 minutes. Every 4 minutes. No, not 4 minutes. Look, I'll have to get back to you on that, but the degrees and 4 minutes are connected to each other. Let's just progress a little bit now. So we see there that this is political, and the political world was changed that day. It was debilitated by our beautiful mother who art in heaven, including the moon, Venus, the one who gives us beauty and wisdom, and she's down. She's out of the game, guys. Okay? She's sitting on the bench. You know, when in Australian rules football, they have 18, no, 18 or, I forget, but 18 or 20 men who go out to play football, and 4 guys start on the bench in case 4 people get injured. Well, they've got replacements, right? Oh, fuck no. Yo. I'll turn my phone back on. Call me on my phone because I can't hear you because of... Oh. Yo. Huh? When? When exactly? Great. Thanks, mate. All right. I just want to say thank you to Nick. He just called me to share that my screen share went off. So, and it was only 20 seconds ago. So I'm glad. Yes, I can tell already that what I'm doing has improved. So here I go again. I'm going to share the screen again. There's thunderstorm out there, guys. Have I got a yes, please? It's back. Okay. All right. It should stay back. What's this doing? How do I get rid of this dumb looking thing? All right. All right. Let's go to Mars. Let's see what Mars is doing. Mars is directly opposed the North Node, which means, obviously, that he's South Node. Okay. So, well, they're not showing it here because I don't use all aspects. Otherwise, this will be full of lines everywhere. It's too complicated. You keep things simple. I just use the 4 main, the quincunxes, the greens are there, and the 4 main ones that you learned in my 7-part series. For new listeners, just go back 7-8 weeks and in Patreon, and you will have on how to be a competent astrologer that you will ever have in the history of history. Take it or leave it. It's there for free. So Mars is on the South Node. That is very, very telling. Work that one out, guys. I really don't have to talk about that. If Mars is on K2, the South Node, that's not good in any way possible. You can never, ever make that good. No matter how acrobatic your intuitive astrological skills are, yeah. Good luck to you if you're going to try it. Pluto. What's Pluto doing as well? 12 degrees. Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius is shooting his destructive arrow, javelin, all the way over to Satan, who is still in the air traveling. happened to perform his first crash because the other planes, the other three planes, were still in the air. And then let's move over now and plane crash. Mercury's up a little bit. There you go. So 15 minutes. Yeah, there you go. So it should be easy to work out. The sun, okay, the sun is on 18 degrees there, and it's there, but okay, well, I'll be able to work this out. It's just that my brain is not working, as does sometimes happen. I've got a bit of head jam. If that is 15 minutes, then that's 15. Yeah. I had it right. About an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. Now look at this. So Pluto is already the destructive, most powerful of all the transformative planets that can ever possibly affect you, is talking to Satan and telling him to kill. Do your best, Satan. Do some killing. Destroy the Twin Towers, which were dedicated to the day when Saturn was on the same degree. 15 degrees Gemini, the twins. And notice there that Satan is doing a grand trine with Uranus, 21 degrees, 14 degrees. It's a big orb. It's 6-degree orb, 7-degree orb, but it's in. But look at this, Uranus and Mercury, 14 degrees. Wait a minute, let's go to the first plane crash. It's better. So here's the grand trine. There's Mercury. Let's start from Mercury. Right? He's talking straight to Satan, destroy, fly at 14 degrees. There you go. 14 degrees, everybody. How can he have possibly moved? Yeah, oh yeah, that's 14 degrees. Why am I getting confused? Oh, okay. I'm not confused. So that is perfectly centered Cazimi trine. So, in other words, from Libra air, Mercury, to Gemini air, because remember, trines can only talk to the same element. If the trine is an element, it's not a real trine. For instance, this one here, this here is an imposter, this one, from the moon. Oh no, it's not an imposter. It's in air, Gemini, and Uranus is in air, Aquarius. There's another imposter here somewhere. No, this one's good. Look at that. Pluto is also destroying Venus. I never noticed that before. There you go. I was only looking at this because the red is evil. Oh, naughty. Redshift, radiation, tetragonal radiation, that is. And the blue rays, they are trigonal and hexagonal radiation. So they're good. In other words, Mercury was good with Saturn killing a whole bunch of people. Because Mercury, remember, he's the tricky one. You never, ever, ever. Yo. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks, Nick. All right. Stop sharing. Start again. This is fun. At least it's working. All right. So going back to this grand trine, right? So we've got Mercury the messenger, the newspapers were talking about this event for 6 months on the freaking front page. I came to America exactly 2 months to play a gig for Microsoft for Bill Gates's inauguration speech at Las Vegas MGM Grand Arena. Exactly 2 months to the day, November the 11th, I was performing at the MGM Grand Arena, playing my guitar there with my partner, and then 45-minute set, and then we walked off, and Bill Gates walks on, and Xbox and Windows XP were released to the world. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this to you because I remember it was only 2 months after 9/11, and when I got to LAX, every single American had an American flag on their antenna. Every house, there was Los Angeles airport was a prison. There were freaking army personnel there. There were policemen with freaking kinds of heavy equipment and big, massive rifles. And I'm like, yeah, forget about the Las Vegas gig. I want to get the fuck out of this place. This is not good. I remember, and that was clear in my mind, man. That was absolutely, like, it was awful how America was at that time. It was awful. And the sun, on the day that I performed there, the sun had gone from here to all the way to November the 11th over here. Right? See, this is September the 11th. So the sun would have been on the 18th degree of Scorpio. So exactly 2 months to the day. And all through this period, America was just really nationalistic and patriotic. It was scary, man. I was in America for that period, and even Las Vegas was really, really on edge. People were really feeling the American spirit, and imagining that it wasn't an inside job somehow. Funny about that. Okay, so did Mercury. So this trine with Mercury and Saturn and Uranus is very significant, guys. Why is that? It's in air. And where did all of that damage come from? The air. See? And it's a kite. It's not just a grand trine. It's a kite. And the point of the kite is the one that suffers the most, the political world. It changed forever. And there's the kite pointing to Venus. So Venus is part of this grand trine. You see? The fluidity between these planets in air, and Venus is the only one in fire. There was a lot of fire. There were big fires. Yeah? Right. All right. Now, the other thing I was going to say about Jupiter being in Cancer on the MC, or close to the MC, I mean, on the first plane crash, there he was. You could say, yep, he's within 5 degrees, so he was on the MC, right? So what does that mean? Well, July the 4th in Cancer is America's favorite sign. That's why they became a republic. Of course, they're going to have Jupiter right on that point, the American sign, Cancer, July the 4th, Liberation Day, etc., 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 and Jupiter's on top. the demiurge. Now, I went through every single, the arca. The only one I haven't done is Neptune in the 4th house. Okay, so what's that? Foundation. Neptune is delusion. The foundation of the house of the World Trade Center and capitalism. This house is capitalism, trade, investments, property, your home, your valuables, etc., etc. Well, that's the World Trade Center, sweethearts. That's Neptune right there in the 4th house saying economy is affected. Now, he is not in a grand trine at all because 6 degrees is too far away from 14 degrees. So this is kind of a little bit iffy here. All right, so I showed you how every single planet is right in their right, correct places, guys. Now, if we do that in sidereal astrology, it's 10% of what I just did is there. Yeah, Saturn was in the 9th house, and then he would have moved into the 10th house of death. Sure, Venus is still, it's still the same in the houses, but it's just this circle here has slipped because they believe in the slippage. It's not the precession of the equinoxes, guys. It's the precession of the ecliptic. This is what they don't understand. Precession of the equinoxes is a misnomer. It's an absolute stupid, idiotic way of confusing people. The equinoxes, the equinoxes can never precess because they always turn up on March the 21st, March the 21st, and December 23rd. Period. Okay, so it's the precession of the ecliptic. And so let's just throw this out like you would any trash. But if you are going to be doing the sidereal chart, this is why I say sidereal is from the devil, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have truth in it. Because, for instance, everything dealing with the house system is exactly the same as tropical, so it has to be accurate to a degree. And it is useful because the Indians managed to retain techniques that the Westerners have forgotten, and yet the Westerners have got hundreds of techniques that the sidereals don't even know about, that I use in my daily astrology. And when you talk to a siderealist about these, they will just like, yeah, I don't know what that is, I can't think right now, but there's just too many things. So I'm going to move on now. I'm going to move to another subject. This is done and dusted. It's a no-brainer. The charts, it's all orchestrated, guys. This is the video game. Welcome to the producers and the directors of the show. Sun, Venus, Jupiter, the nodes, Moon, Saturn, Lilith. I don't know why she keeps... I click the Wheel of Fortune, but they always give me Dark Lilith, and it pisses me right freaking off. I don't want to know about Dark Lilith. I don't give a shit about her. I like to have this, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, always have this in your charts, guys. Notice how I kicked out this little bitch here, Dark Lilith. I mean, she's significant, but I would prefer to, if you can only have one, which you can, I believe, in this application. I don't know why I can't choose more. I would love to have Lilith and other things in here as well, but you must include the lot of fortune, guys. You simply must. Okay? Now, why? Notice that it's the symbol for the earth in astrology, because it is the AC combined with the sun sign and the moon sign. There is no other thing in the chart that does what the Wheel of Fortune is, and it tells you where your honeypot fortune lies. If it's in the first house, you're gonna be a lucky dude. If it's gonna be in the second house, you're gonna be a rich dude. If it's gonna be here, you're gonna be an intelligent dude. If it's gonna be in the fourth house, you're gonna have a whole bunch of houses. If it's gonna be in the fifth house, you're gonna be a romantic little sweetheart. It's going to be here, you're going to be really self-improving and serving mankind. If it's over here, you're going to be the best astrologer and the best diviner and the best, the best health. If it's over here, you're going to be a great healer and a transformer and an influencer and a sexy, sexy dude. If it's here, you're going to travel the world, you're going to serve the gods, and your fortune will be great and abundant. If it's over here, your career, your glory, and your honors, respect, and acknowledgements and achievements will be recognized by the whole world. If this thing here is in this house, it will bring you luck with friends. You'll find all the best friends. They'll all be coming to you. Why? Because the lot of fortune is the earth, the sun, and the moon, the Holy Trinity. This is the only Trinity. This is the true thing that you should be looking for always. And if it's in this house over here where I have my North Node and Mars, it means you're going to be a good syncretist and you're going to be good at uncovering hidden things and unknown things and tap into the universal mind. That's where your fortune will be. Okay, so I've deviated, but that's great because it's a good transition to February the 5th, 1962. Let's have a look what we have here, guys. Mars, 2 degrees Aquarius. Is it right there? Look at that. 1 degree orb. Mercury retrograding 16 degrees. Dang. How many seconds? Thank you. Thanks, Nick. All right, so let's have a look at the configuration. Here we have Neptune, invisible, Pluto, invisible, Uranus, invisible, North Node, invisible, and planets, Snow White and the 7 dwarves, they're all in Aquarius. Mars, 2 degrees, Saturn, 3 degrees, Sun, look at this, guys. Mercury in the Sun, 16 degrees, Cazimi. This is it, guys. This was the beginning, the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and exactly 50 years later, on 21st of December 2012, Aquarius kicked in. And 1987 was the what's the convergence point. 1987 was the middle. And here we have Venus, Cazimi with Jupiter. The two benefics are together, and the two malefics are together by a 1 degree orb. But 0 degree orb here, with the two benefics, and the moon is in Aquarius 24 degrees. Now, let's do this in sidereal. Goofy, you failed in the class, go back to the classroom, back of the classroom, and wear the yellow dumb hat and tattoo stupid on your forehead, please. Because the sun is in 22 degrees Capricorn, Mercury is 22 degrees Mercury, Satan and Mars are 9 and 8 degrees apart from each other in all in Capricorn, and only 3 planets in Aquarius. Siderealists out there, you need to go and change your underwear. Yeah, when you hear this, because you don't have a career anymore fooling people with your stupidity. Okay? That's what I like to do. I like to slay Goliaths. Call me Elijah. So there it is, guys. There at I made it at 6 a.m. Exactly. What have I got here? Twin Towers. Oh yeah, that's when the Twin Towers sat in. This was when the day. Well, be accurate. It was the 4th of April, not the 1st, but April Fool's Day. But there he is. Well, let's fix that. Let's just fix that for fussy people, shall we? What? No, I should be doing edit. Il 4 d'aprile, bang. So what did I achieve? Nothing? Oh, yeah, I did. I got Saturn right on 15 degrees, but he was 14 degrees. Oh, yeah, 14 degrees over here, 14 degrees 45. But when it was built, when it was dedicated, it was 15 degrees 52, which is really 16 degrees. So, okay, it's out by a degree and 30 minutes or whatever, but you get the point. That's if you're intelligent, which you are, because you wouldn't be here if you were not intelligent. So you get what I'm saying. Okay, guys? And here it is. All you have to do, guys, is when you're showing people this, please remember, please remember this date, the 5th of February, 1962. You know Astro.com. You know how to put this information in. Show this to your sidereal astrologist friends, right? And then do this. And then go back here, click back, and take tropical out of the equation and go sidereal, and show them how silly they are. And then when you smell something off, tell them to go and change their panties because they've just pooped themselves. Yeah, missed out on everything like they always do. All right, that's all you have to do. You can do it here, right? All right, so chart selection. And by the way, isn't it funny? I mean, isn't it really funny? Let's have a chuckle. Why is, let's have a look at some interesting things here. Why is the house system default on Placidus? Let's show the chart. Yeah, there it is. It's Placidus. Yeah. Well, let me just do it. Let me go back and let me put it back to default and show you that here. The default is, can you see this word here, guys? What's this word right about here? Default. Astro.com defaults not on equal house, not on whole house for all the globetards, Placidus and Porphyry house system is designed and based on correcting two things. The latitude of where you're born and the refraction of the horizons, which siderealists haven't got a clue about. Now let's go back to the other two things I wanted to point out that are default on all astrological tropical systems. Why do they all default to geocentric? Why don't they do this heliocentric bullshit? No, default is there, and default will never be here, and it will never be here. That is absolute fucking stupidity. Default Placidus house system, default tropical, default geocentric, 100% of the time with every astrological application, site, book, whatever. Those three are always the defaults. Now, I like Porphyry. And there's a little bit of a difference. Porphyry makes more adjustments for the rising sign, because you see, when Capricorn, when the solstice signs are rising, Capricorn or Cancer. See, when Capricorn is rising, the MC goes to the left in Porphyry and Placidus, the unequal house systems, right? But if Cancer were here, right here, where Capricorn is, the MC would be over here in Libra, okay? And this proves only one thing, only one thing, that we're living on a flat earth and that these planets are local. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Now, I recommend that you look up that nursery rhyme and read the other 6 verses and have your minds blown. Okay, so, well, that's it. That's all I wanted to discuss. So I'm pretty impressed with that. We've got... Yeah, so we've got all these in the Porphyry system, which is, I always sort of revert from Porphyry to Placidus. You can see that he's made more of an adjustment. But why is it so much of an adjustment? Let's have a look here. Placidus, default. Oh no, yeah, it's still there. Yeah, so they're very similar. Porphyry and Placidus. Porphyry was the greatest, for me. If you want to ask me who was the greatest mind and who was your greatest teacher and who was your greatest influence and who do you love the most, well, it's Porphyry. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And funny how we still have his house system, but his 12 volumes on astrology were destroyed by Constantine. And he was a contemporary of Constantine. So way back then, 1700 years ago, Porphyry of Tyre, the greatest Neoplatonist of all time by far, who wrote a treatise on the abstinence of flesh eating, hence proving that the Neoplatonists were vegetarian, of course, because flesh eaters get to be dunces forever, and all the geniuses, Pythagoras, Da Vinci, Tesla, all vegetarian, of course. So, of course, Porphyry, the greatest of all by far and away, it's like Bruce Lee and the rest. You know? Okay, so I'm just waffling on now, I think. I was going to say that also that Uranus was in Leo. So the heavens, so it's interesting that Uranus that reflects and represents Uranos, the heavens, 29 degrees, is actually opposing the moon 24 degrees. Now that's just something to think about. And then you've got a square from Neptune to Venus and Moon and the Sun, Cazimi. So the fact that Mercury and the Sun, Cazimi, but it's funny that you got two Cazimis here, guys. Venus and Mercury. I mean, let's have a look at that. Yeah, within 15 degrees, there you go. Venus is 18 degrees 30 minutes, and Jupiter is 18 degrees 45 minutes. So it has to be 15 degrees or less to be Cazimi, which means the most blessed of blessed conjunctions. And we've got, well, if you'll find that if you set this to, let's go to, because the Sun and Mercury and the Sun are also Cazimi. Look at this. Mercury is 16 degrees 14 minutes, and the Sun is 16 degrees 18 minutes. That's 4 degrees of orb in minutes. That's the most beautiful Cazimi you'll probably ever see, in conjunction with another one right next door at the inauguration of the Age of Aquarius, only in tropical, only in the true system. All right, so let me stop sharing and maybe I can address some questions. Just give me 1 minute because I need to address something. And think about some questions, some good ones, no silly stuff. All right, guys. Okay, so all right. Before I get to your questions, guys, next week I'm going to start a whiteboard series called "The Keys to Knowing All Things," and you don't want to miss it. You really don't want to miss it. I'm probably going to release that to the public like I'm doing with this one, because I think that this one is going to be very beneficial for the public and to put the siderealists in their place and bring back the ancient Christian tropical system. That's why it's called tropical astrology, and Christ dies on the cross of the equinoxes, Tropic of Cancer, and down the bottom at your feet, the Tropic of Capricorn. And isn't it unusual that the human body is the same proportions as the cross, which the lower stem is longer, because the horizontal, they're equal. That's the equinoxes, Aries, Libra. And then the short one on top, that's the short shadow that the sundial casts in the summer. No brainer. And then when the bottom of the cross is long, that's where Capricorn is down the bottom. Well, in the winter, when you're walking around, your shadow is 20 meters long. But in the summer, your shadow is only about a foot, a couple, 3 or 4 yards. How does it, 3 or 4 meters? How does it go from 3 or 4 meters in the summer when you're walking around at midday, right, to 26 meters? That's what the cross is teaching. So I'm going to give this freely to the public because I want to bust the liars. I love doing that. I'm a provoker. As the Hopi Indians describe my archetype, it's a Hayoka, which means a provoker, someone who provokes, Okay, so let's go. What do we got for questions? What is a wave when it's not waving? It's a pulse. It's a pulse. This world is digital and analog, which is waveform. What you're looking at here, everything you're looking at in your home, it's all digital and analog. It's all pulses and waves. That's it. So the supposed 100 trillion atoms in my body, minute torus fields, which are what's the word? When an ion, you see, in nuclear physics, in the atomic model, what they say is that a carbon atom has 6 electrons. There aren't any electrons. That's bullshit. What it has is it has 6 torus field what's the word? Positions, right? The next element, nitrogen, has 7. Oxygen has 8. And all the way over to Pluto, it's 93 of them. They're not electrons. It's a torus field with more of these reciprocating flux. That's all it is. And when they say that a negative ion jumps up into another atom and it changes becomes uranium or whatever, right? No, it's not. It's not like that at all. It's that what happens is that one torus field will have, say, 10 strong force. So what happens is the one that has 20 is attracted to the one that has 10. And what they do then is they lose how they originally were configured. So there's no swapping of electrons to change the elements. This is utter stupidity, pseudoscience at its worst, not at its best. I mean, Tesla would be pissing his pants at that sort of rubbish. Even the Thompson, his name was Thompson. No, anyway, the guy who discovered the electron said himself, there are no particles. The electron's not a particle. And here we are still saying it's a particle universe world. So to answer your question, what is a wave when it's not waving? It's a pulse. Yeah, the meaning of all the planet degrees stand for a certain event. And 15 degrees and 18 degrees are bad outcomes. Now, 18, yes. 15 is bad, good and bad. 15 is good. It's a good degree, but it all middle. Now, let me prove that to you. What you just said, Diona, which is another word for Adonis or Diane or Adam or Adon or Adonis or Dion, or there it is. Everyone's name goes back to Atum. All is Atum. Let me prove that to you guys with my Syncrota wheel. In medical astrology, only in one aspect, okay? I'm only going to do this in one aspect. Now, you're talking about things, general events. You see, I believe the reason that Porphyry's works were destroyed was because the ancients, they told you what every degree meant. And I have books that contain this information. But then the Egyptians and the Babylonians and the Persians said that they had every minute, all the 60 minutes in every degree, they had a meaning for every one of those. And every one of those minutes had 60 seconds. And those 60 seconds had their own meaning. So I'm going to do an example on the whiteboard to show you how scientific that is. How's the quality of this session, guys? Is this better than the last 2 weeks? Let me know. I'll just pull up. It's excellent. Yeah, it's gonna get better. Yeah, it's gonna get better. Okay, so Syncrota. All right, let's have a look at something, shall we? I'm gonna share my screen. So there's the Syncrota wheel, okay? Now, in the middle you have the 12 tissue salts, and then you've got rotations, the falls, the next circle is the domicile, the next circle is the detriments. Well, let's have a look. Oh, this file is so big that it freezes. See, that's what I don't want. Don't want that shit. Come on. Yeah. Move. Oh, let me get a smaller one. This is the big one. What is going? I can't get out of here. What's wrong? Just go away. All right, it's forcing me to use it. It's a big file, but it's not responding. Oh, okay, I got rid of it. All right. Anyway, let's go into here. Let's get a smaller one. 418 megabytes, 36 megabytes. The smallest one. Shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to go down here to the legend. There's Cap down the bottom. You can see the symbol. All right, so this is basically just a glorified essential dignities. That's all this is. But it has medical astrology. It's for medical astrology. So yeah, there you go. So the first circle is the tissue salts, the minerals. Then the fall, the detriment, exaltation, ruler, increasing fortune degrees, chronic illness and Zemina degrees, weld degrees, the two triplicity rulers. This is day, blue, and red is night. The faces and the deacons. Oh, there you go. It's clearing itself up. Wow, man, this computer can't handle an 18 gigabyte file. Oh boy. Okay. So, and then faces and deacons. The northern are blue, red. Then it has the bright, dark, smoky. Then it has the dodecatemorions, which is the masculine and feminine degrees, and the terms. I've used the Ptolemaic, but I also introduced, I thought I have to have the Egyptian, although Ptolemy boasted that he got his terms from a source which is better than the Egyptians, because as you're going to notice, they're different. You can see when you look at the outer rings here, these two outer rings, the one on the outside is the Egyptian terms, and these ones here on the second last, they are the Ptolemaic terms. You can see that they rhyme a little bit, but they're a little bit off. They disagree. So who was right, the Egyptians or Ptolemy? Well, that's why I put both of these here, because that we understand that there is differences, there is variations in systems and stuff like that. Okay, now, so the person there who said that all, well, hey, let's do this. This is. I find that we know that Pisces. This is Pisces. Okay, all of this one here. This and it's the feet, right? Now have a look at this. And Pisces, number 1, right heel bone, coordination. Pisces, the second degree, coordination. Well, funny. I guess someone just made that up and thought, let's make this really funny. Everyone knows that Pisces is the feet if they've studied astrology. Like the first degree, the right foot, and the last degree, the left foot. Okay, third degree, nerves of right foot, appendix, coordination, appendicitis. Pisces, fourth degree, nerves of left arm, coordination, appendicitis. See, again, right? So if you're having problems with your feet and you're a Piscean or whatever, but you've got problems, check if you've got disturbing conditioning planet on those first 4 degrees of Pisces. And so, you know, Aries is going to be about the cerebrum, skull, first degree. Second degree, midbrain. Mesencephalon, skull. Third degree, cerebellum, abscess. Fourth degree, pineal gland, goiter, skull. There's a lot of skull here. Look at that. Look, in the middle decan of Aries. People who have the sun in April, between April 1st and April 10, they are the ones that will suffer with migraines the most. Find out. Ask your friend that has migraine. When were you born? April 5th. There you go. Well, it's all migraine area. It's all in the head. See, all of this is in the head. Millions of years. And look at this. Concentration here. See there? Where my cursor is? I hope you can see that. It's kind of, here it is in the, right over here. You see the first degrees, the first decan of Aries is full of skull problems. The second is all migraines. And the third is concentration issues. And then you go to Taurus and you've got nose. Well, there you go. The lower half of the head is Taurus. Drowning. The first degrees of Taurus is drowning. Scorpio. Degrees of Scorpio, drowning. The first 6 degrees of Scorpio. So there you go. If you were born on October 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th to the 27th of October, you would have had an experience I think Nick's calling me. Call again, Nick. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. Call me again, please. Okay, how many seconds? Great. Yeah. All right, so end share screening, start share screening, go back to sync rotor, and all right, let's do that again. So all the first degrees of Scorpio, which are directly opposite Taurus, all have to do with drowning. Nick, you gotta. Hey Nick, you gotta. Okay, that's better. I can hear in the background. So look at this. And notice, look at this. The first degrees of Scorpio: sexuality, 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 and drowning in addictions. Genitals, genitals. These are all things that are typical with freaking Scorpio themes. Everyone knows, right? So every degree means something. Now let's go degrees of Scorpio. Take a screenshot, and you'll see that it's all sexuality and drowning in addictions. And let's go straight over to Taurus. And the first degrees got drowning, 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 the first 5 degrees. There you go. Now, isn't that intelligence? Isn't that science? So what I want to show you is this, guys. So, oh no. All right. I'm going to get my whiteboard out. So along the arc of the ecliptic, right? So every degree has about 6 or 7 different meanings. But every degree has 60 minutes. And this is science, this is astronomy. I'm not making this up, right? Yeah. This is this is it. Now, and each one of those 60 minutes has a reference point back to the meanings, one or the other, of the 6 or 7 things that are attributed, that are potential to happen, will be discovered in the minutes. But every minute has 60 seconds, right? And they all have their meanings as well. Every 60 degrees, all of those 60 degrees have something. So let's say this means you will be royal. You're going to be a king. It's on the star Regulus or in Leo or something, right? So this means you're going to be a king, you're going to be a political ruler, you're going to be famous, you're going to have great success and wealth. That's what that degree means. But then that degree might have 18 seconds, right? So you go to 18 seconds and it says assassination. So the astrologer says to the king, you have the most glorious degree on your chart in the 10th house. You will be great, you will be rich and famous, but you're going to be assassinated because you got the wrong minute. And then the second is 22, and it says poison. You see how it works, guys? It's not hocus pocus. It's not from the devil. It's not channeling. It's pure science. It's pure science. But here's the thing. Where are the meanings of the minutes and the seconds? I've never seen them in any astrological book. That's why they burned the 12 volumes of Porphyry, because 12 volumes, can you imagine a book like this, full of all the minutes, and then another book full of all the seconds. And then you can have people coming to you because of your competence in astrology, and let's say they want to know the day of their death. And you say, are you sure? Because it's not a good thing to know that. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know the day I die. I don't care. I want to know. All right, I'm going to tell you. So the astrology goes to the minute, the degree of all the planets. He goes the killers, right? And it will say something good like you're going to be an actor, a musician. Great. But it's not a degree of death, so does that mean I'm not going to die ever? No, I haven't checked the minutes. 21 minutes. Death. Okay. Let's say, or no, let's say heart disease is the minute. So the guy goes, oh, okay, so I'm going to be a musician, but I'm going to have a bad heart. And then the second, more than likely, will have more information leading to the day of their death. If not, if it doesn't say death in the second, the degree of the second, the position, not degree, can't be a degree, then you go over to Saturn, or you go over to Pluto, right? And eventually you'll find it, and you'll find the exact day that the person will die. But how many astrologers can do that? They can't. Why? Because we don't have that information. Now, I just showed that to you on my Syncretism wheel, that I can show you all the degrees. And every time I do a chart reading, like I'll see a degree that I know, like spinal problems or something like that. And when I see that, and I see Saturn retrograding on that degree, I say to the person, you need to look after your spine. And the person will turn around and go, what? How did you know? I've got scoliosis and I've got 2 compressed discs in my cervix and 1 in my lumbar. How did you know? Because I know the degree. You've got Saturn retrograding on that degree. You're going to have spinal problems. Look after your spine. And lo and behold, every time I do this, there will be some things that don't show up in the person at the moment, but there will be some that are just impossible to dodge. And that's tropical astrology. You can't do medical astrology with sidereal. And you can't do this either. Show this to all the goofball, retard, sidereal dum-bums out there, and just show them how easy it is. There's me, Aries. You can see it. Iron. You can see that magnetic iron. And that's from March the 21st to April the 21st, siderealists. It doesn't work in sidereal. Oh, you poor misled fools. And you're probably ugly too. I haven't seen a good-looking sidereal astrologer ever. Taurus, totally a different thing. From April the 21st to May the 20th. May the 21st, sidereal bums. You can't do this with sidereal. Everything's tropical. Geminis. If you know what you're looking for, in fact, I'm going to do it. Eventually I'm going to do all the traits and show you how to guess people's signs. And it will never work in sidereal. Never, ever, 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 ever. That's why they don't have medical astrology. They can't help you. They don't even have degrees, minutes, and seconds. They've just got this box. Where's the box? The ecliptic is a circle. Tropical astrology has a circle. And the dumb freaking Indians who are misled by the Jesuits and every other fool that follows their Jesuit system, right? They follow this box. Well, where's the Tropic of Cancer? Where's the South? Where's the North? Where's the East? Where are the aspects? Where are the trines? There's nothing there. It's just got Mars is in this box. You have Mars in the second house. Yeah, it's there. That's where it is. And that's about the extent of what they're going to tell you. They can't tell you anything else. They can't tell you that it's squaring by a 1 degree orb with Venus. They can't tell you that it's... they can't tell you anything. They're stupid idiots. And they need to be... exposed. Cancer, I mean... You can see the water, you can see the crab. If you can't see felines here, and it only works, sweethearts, from July the 21st to August the 22nd. Sidereal, it doesn't work, and you can guess it all the time in tropical. So do you want to be intelligent or do you want to be a dumb bum? Siderealists are dumb bums and ugly, and tropical astrologers are intelligent and sexy. Virgos, look at them, eccentric, distorted, weird, contorted faces. Librans, balanced, vertical, everything's vertical. Eyebrows, horizontal, vertical dimples. Look at the big vertical dimples they all have. Like this girl here. Yeah? My son has them. He has straight eyebrows. I have arched eyebrows, which are very Aryan. Look at the eagle, hawk. See the hawk there? Scorpio, the eagle. Look at the beaks. All of these people have got bird beaks. That doesn't work in sidereal, dumb bums. Sagittarius, the big, long horse face with the beautiful horse teeth and lips and the happy smile. The Scorpios with Mars, they're not happy. They're serious. These guys, they're travelers. They're horses galloping around, man. Happy. The serious Capricorns. They're the goats. Can't you see the goat? If you can't see the goat there, you're blind. Aquarius, eyes close together. Everything's close together. The head is big and all the facial features, they're all compact. Similar with Capricorn. Thin lips, because Saturn rules them both and makes everything constricted. Whereas Pisceans, so look how close the eyes are of the Aquarians, especially this guy here, right? See how close their eyes are? Everything's small, kind of there. Now look at the fish who have their eyes on the side, Pisceans. Look at how spaced out their eyes are. Go tropical or be a dunce. And I've proven it. 9/11, the 9/11 show, it's done. No one else has done it. I haven't seen anyone else do what I just did. unless you can prove me wrong. We did the age of Aquarius in tropical. So the message, sweethearts and dear friends, is go tropical, wear the holy cross of the crucifixion of the sun at the tropical points, not the sidereal points because they don't exist. Tropical point is always there. Just, it's been there forever. It always will be. Yeah. Yeah. Aries will always be here. Cancer will always be here. Libra will always be here. And Capricorn will always be down the bottom. So, your choice, intelligence or stupidity. Next week, guys, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to finish up now, and next week we'll be doing how to know the keys to knowing all things. You don't want to miss it. Tell your friends, share my link to the Patreon, get them to join, and have a great week. I know I'm going to. Much love.